Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today the Houston Rockets win 106-96, and wow, what a win for this Rockets team! 106-96 final score, beat the Golden State Warriors in Golden State for the first time since I don't even know how long. I want to say the 2019-20 season the Rockets did win a game in Golden State, because I know the Rockets that year played them a total of 3 or 4 times in the 2019-20 season when Golden State was, really bad. And one of the games they played in Golden State, they did lose on Christmas, and I know they beat them one other matchup in Houston. I think there was another matchup in Golden State that the Rockets did win. So the last time the Rockets did win in Golden State was the 2019-20 season. Now, but if I am wrong about that and the Rockets did not win a game, in Golden State in the 2019-20 season, that means the last time the Rockets won a game in Golden State was the 2018-19 season. But I'm like 95% sure the Rockets won a game in that 2019-20 season with Russ and Harden in San Francisco. And if they didn't, the Rockets have not beat Golden State since they moved from Oakland to San Francisco. And that is kind of embarrassing, but that changed tonight. But I am 95% sure that Russ and Harden were able to get a win in San Francisco in that 19-20 season. Right, I want to say right before. It was a little bit right before the season ended due to COVID. But great win for the Rockets, 106-96. And how about Houston sports in the last 24 hours, or a little bit over the last 24 hours? You saw we got to change it from Space City to Comeback City. Houston Cougars yesterday against Duke, down 14. I want to say it was 15-45, but I know they were down 14. And playing probably what everybody mostly would say, best team in the country. And you come back in the final 10 minutes of the basketball game, Duke only scored one field goal. I mean, the Cougs were going nuts, went on a 9-0 run to finish the game. And Houston wins and goes to their first Final Four since 1984. What do the Astros do today? Well, it was not a good start off to the Astros today because you get off to 1-0 lead, but then the Twins in Minnesota score 7 straight ones on the Astros, and it's the 5th inning, and the Astros are down 7-1. Your odds are not good. You're down 7-1. But the Astros score 8 unanswered runs and win 9-7. What happens in this game today when the Rockets are down 11 points to the Golden State Warriors? The Rockets come back and win. Look, I'm not trying to discredit this Rockets comeback because this was a great comeback win, down 11 points. The one thing I will say, 11-point comeback in the NBA is not as big as it seems, but it's still to come back against a great shooting team like the Golden State Warriors when the Rockets are not a great shooting team. I think coming back from an 11-point deficit is actually pretty solid. But at the same time, the Rockets have shown this year that they can come back in a game against this Golden State Warriors team. They have come back from 2 20-point leads against this Golden State team this year. In October, it was October, they were down 31, came back to take the lead, sent the game to overtime. They did lose in overtime, but that's still incredible. And then they were down like 25 the game before the All-Star break and came back to take the Golden State's like 25, 26-point lead to 1. So the Rockets have showed this year that there is pretty much no lead that Golden State can have that is safe. But this is the first time the Rockets have had a comeback win against Golden State this year. All right, but here's the thing I was saying. I'm not trying to discredit the Rockets' comeback win because it was a very solid win. It's just you compare being 11 points down in the first half to being down 7-1 at a baseball game in the in the 5th inning, or being down 14 points to the best team in the country in college basketball in the second half, and going on a 10-0 run to finish the game and keeping that Duke team to one field goal in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, that coming back from 11 points down in the first half is nothing compared to what U of H and the Astros have done in the last day. But still really impressive with the Rockets, and they've tried to step up from what their Houston brothers, their fellow Houston teams have done with what the Cougs did last night and the Astros did earlier today. So it was a great win. 106-96 final score. Let's go over some stats. Dillon Brooks was excellent. 24 points, 3 rebounds, 10 for 13, 3 for 4 from 3. He was great. How about Jalen Green? Finally showing up against the Golden State Warriors. Jalen Green has struggled like no one else against this Golden State Warriors team. Honestly, this might have been Jalen Green's first 20-point performance against this Golden State Warriors team. Now, I might be wrong about that because he has faced this Warriors team a lot in his career, but Jalen Green against this Warriors team has struggled. I know this year he hasn't done anything against them. It has been really bad for Jalen Green against this Warriors team. And for most of the game, that was the story for Jalen. But he went insane in the fourth quarter and made some huge shots for this team. 21 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds for him. He had like 10 points in the fourth quarter for the Rockets. It might have been 12. It was unbelievable. And he was a big reason why the Rockets were able to win in this game. And Alperen Şengün was fantastic too. 19 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists for Alp, 1 steal as well. 7 for 17. And if it's 7 for 16 if you don't include the 3-point prayer he took. 5 for 10 from the free throw line. You know what? I think this is one of the first times I've seen the Rockets win this year where, there have been, and this is the thing I was leading into, there have been a lot of games this year where the Rockets absolutely terrible at the free throw line, absolutely terrible from 3, and that a lot of losses this year for the Rockets, if you look at it, it's either because the 3-point shots weren't falling, free throws were a big problem, or sometimes both. Well, those were both issues for the Rockets tonight. Still got a dub. A terrible 6 for 16 at the free throw line, 37%, and 10 for 30 from 3, 33%, but still able to beat this Warriors team tonight, who are 18-2 with Steph and Jimmy in the starting lineup. That's impressive with the Rockets shooting struggles against this Warriors team to still beat them. Free throw shooting struggles as well. Now, it wasn't just Alpe's 5 for 10. Jalen Green missed 2 free throws out of 2. Fred VanVleet missed 2 free throws of 2. Those are your 2 best free throw shooters. Dillon Brooks was 1 for 2. It was bad. There were some bad free throw struggles for this Rockets team tonight. Not only that, they didn't get a lot of free throw attempts either. 6 for 16. That's actually not a lot of free throw attempts. Şengün had 10 of those. But Fred VanVleet was not so good tonight. 3 points. I mean, he defensively, I think Fred VanVleet was clutch defensively. 3 steals, 1 block. I thought VanVleet did an excellent job defensively, but I think he took some terrible shots. 1 for 8, 1 for 5 from 3. He did have 3 assists and had some really nice passes for the Rockets in this game, but only 3 points. That was really bad. And then Thompson was brilliant, though. 14 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Fantastic. 7 for 14. 16 for Jabari, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. 4 points for Tari Eason. This is kind of 2 games now in a row for Tari where he struggles. He had 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. He had 1 block as well. So good defensively. Had a walk in this game as well. That could have hurt this Rockets team tonight because the Warriors were on a little bit of a run, and then Tari Eason had a carry. But he was really bad the other night for the Rockets against OKC. But still, Tari struggling these last 2 games. They've still been able to beat good teams like the Warriors and the Thunder. 11 points for Aaron Holiday. He shot 1 for 2 from 3. 3 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. C&M, 17 points, 1 for 2 from the floor. Only 2 points, but a great 8 rebounds, 1 assist. You want to look what's different with this Rockets team tonight that you didn't see at all in the first 4 games against the Warriors? The Rockets went 1-3 in the first 4 games against the Warriors. Something they didn't do in any of those games that they did tonight was the double big lineup of Steven Adams and Alperen Şengün. That's something they started in the beginning of February. That's when they started the Alperen Şengün, Steven Adams double big lineup, and that has worked excellent for this Rockets team. You saw last game they for the first time had that in the starting lineup. And that was against the Thunder, and they got a dub. And so Adams was great tonight. 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 1 for 2 from the floor in 17 minutes. I thought he gave great minutes. I thought him and Şengün did a great job with dealing with the glass tonight for this Rockets team. I think the Rockets have much better chances against this Warriors team when you got Adams and Şengün on the floor together. That's something you didn't see in the first 4 matchups. Honestly, the Rockets' record would probably be better if they had gone with a double big lineup against this Warriors team. I don't think it's something the Warriors could deal with. I don't think the Rockets wouldn't be 2-3 against this Warriors team this season. They'd probably be 3-2 or 4-1 if they would have explored the double big lineup with Şengün and Adams earlier on the season against the Warriors. Yeah, this Rockets team was great tonight, and one of the greatest things they did tonight was limiting Stephen Curry. 1 for 10, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists. I mean, I guess Memphis held him to no field goals at all, so it's not as good as what Memphis did. But he only had 3 points. The Rockets limited him to less points than the Grizzlies did. Now the Grizzlies stopped Steph from scoring a single field goal in that game, but he did score like 4 points at the free throw line. The Rockets hold him to 3 points, no free throw attempts, 1 for 8 from three. He did have 8 assists though, but if you're gonna have Stephen Curry with 3 points, 8 assists. 8 assists is I'm not surprised. I'm surprised he didn't have more with the double teams he was receiving. 8 assists I think is actually surprising. That was a higher number. Jimmy Butler had 13 points. Brandon Podozemski was great, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I thought he was great in this game. He's been great recently. But you need guys more to you need Jimmy Butler to step up more when Stephen Curry's going to receive treatment like he did tonight, where he's double teamed a lot, but it wasn't just the double teams. Like a lot of people saying it's Steph's struggles were all because of the double teams. That's just not true, because it wasn't just double teams. There were a lot of times in this game tonight where he just took bad shots. They weren't going in. I think he was really frustrated with himself. Draymond Green, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. I thought Draymond Green's I don't know, defensive player of the year. I know it's a big controversy right now. I would go with Evan Mobley or Dyson Daniels. I think what Dyson Daniels has done this year is absolutely incredible. But I think maybe does this hurt Draymond's chances just a tiny bit, because Alperen Sengun did, there were times where Draymond Green was getting eat by Alperen Sengun. And I think when you see a moment like where Draymond Green starts trying to, get in his head, and you've seen this before, and Draymond's a great defender. I'm not trying to start talking crap about Draymond, because I'd love to sit here all day and talk crap about Draymond, but he is an excellent defender. And I think there's a good amount of NBA players that he can guard and make your life a living hell. But there are some guys that Draymond is unable to guard. And sometimes when he is unable to guard you, he's going to try to get in your head, and that's what he did with Alperen Sengun tonight, and that didn't work, because literally the first play after that, Alperen Sengun, it wasn't on Draymond, it was on Brandon Podozemski, but makes an incredible spin move to put the ball in the basket, gets fouled, and goes to the free throw line. And I thought I saw the best energy I've ever seen from Alperen Sengun and excitement this season after the play he made, and it really showed Draymond Green in that moment. Everything you just said, that did not get in my head. And after that, honestly, you didn't really see Draymond, chirping it all over to Alperen Sengun. So, look, honestly, if you ask me, do I feel confident in this Rockets team against a Warriors team in the playoffs? I don't know. Do I think the Rockets can get it done? Is yes. But do I want this Rockets team to face this Warriors team in a 7-game series? Absolutely not. I'm not saying I don't believe in this team, but with the history of Jalen Green's struggles against this Warriors team, and also the fact that the Warriors, I know tonight they weren't shooting great from 3, 16 for 43, which that's not amazing, and that's still 37%. That's 4% better than the Rockets did tonight. And it's still considered an off shooting night for this Warriors team. With them being a great shooting team, having the best shooter in the world, even though he shot 1 for 8 tonight, having Podozemski, who's a great shooter, Moses Moody, Jimmy Butler, who can knock down a couple from here and there, Draymond Green can even start knocking down shots. Having a great 3-point shooting team, Buddy Hield, Gary Payton, having guys that can knock down threes like that, that's not a team you want to face for the Rockets, where you're not a great 3-point shooting team. And that's what scares me. But also at the same time, if the Rockets can put out that double big lineup more with Alperen Sengun and Steven Adams against this Warriors team, that's something I don't know if the Warriors can handle either. I don't think the Rockets can handle the Warriors if they get hot from 3, but I don't know if the Warriors can handle the Rockets if they have Alperen Sengun and Steven Adams out there in the double big lineup, and you got Jabari at the 3. That is the Warriors are a great team, but they don't have the size to deal with Sengun, Adams, and Jabari Smith Jr. on the floor in the same lineup. And you saw that out there tonight with all 3 of those guys on the floor with each other at different times. Let me know your thoughts on the Rockets 106-96 win in the comment section, and peace out. Go Rockets.